Hello, welcome to another week. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. I am here, even though I had probably five is pretty generous hours of sleep, and I'm celebrating being a mama of two for a year. And what is up with you? If you don't know me, I'm Brenda Mangalore. I am an artist. My calling is to inspire ambitious and creative spiritual women to live a life of joyful purpose, and whether that is through my paintings, depending on how we go, I might show you the painting. If you're on my page, on my Facebook page, you will see there's a time lapse of a painting in progress, and I can show you what actually happened with it after it's not finished. But sometimes it's fun to have a look in between, because what you see now, you're not going to be able to see in the final piece. Just like life, it just keeps moving forward and the layers kind of build up. So whether it is through my paintings, abstract paintings, which help serve as mirrors for people to see themselves, see the color and beauty and celebration and joy and creativity of themselves, and to have art that evolves and grows with you as you live with it, or whether through my Muse Mama Village membership, or my courses, which if you're a Muse Mama member, you get access to all my creativity resources anyway. So I'm here, lack of sleep, and been lack of sleep for a few days because she's turning 1, I guess. Maybe it's a new moon thing, maybe it's a teething thing, or she might be coming down with a flu thing. If you're a mama of actual babies, as in like human babies that you've birthed, you know that's the season of life that you're at, and not feeling it, but I have this day today free, open for me to have focus and silence and openness and to do my work. And as a Muse Mama, that's what it is. It means you're weaving your business, your work with your life in your season of mamahood, or whether that is birthing actual babies or birthing creative projects or a business. A Muse Mama is someone, and I've been thinking about this really to try and articulate what that is. A Muse Mama is someone who is ambitious and knows that there is a bigger calling that's calling you outside of where you're currently at. There's this next chapter that is calling you, and you don't want to settle for the mediocrity of the status quo and just be like, you should be grateful where you are and should just be happy, and who are you to dream big? And we're Muse Mamas, that's why we are dreaming big, and we're going to do something about that calling. And that calling could be as simple as planting a rose garden in your little cottage, or whether it is starting a foundation to end poverty around the world. Whatever it is calling you. It's your big dream. And I wanted a village as a creative mama of 2 kids, how to pursue my calling of living a creative life, a life of joyful purpose, weaving my art and my creativity and sharing that and being a lighthouse for other creative, ambitious, spiritual women, and weaving that with my mamahood and knowing that I'm more than a mum, and I have this next chapter, and I'm being called to build that while weaving my life with them, because then I bring so much back to my family and to my friends, to be able to show up not only just for myself but for my collectors and my customers when I combine all of it all together. And so I created this village called Muse Mama, where I could gather these amazing, creative, just talented and beautiful women to kind of gather and have access to creativity, and to also have access to each other as a space to tap into each other's creativity, because we know that as Muse Mamas, you tap into your muse and you inspire me as a muse, and you inspire the world as the muse, and as well as being inspired by each other and finding that inspiration in order to create the work that's calling you, that serves as an inspiration for the world. And so I wanted to create that space, which is where Muse Mama is about. But that was a random just talking about Muse Mama thing. I wanted to just talk about how do I just show up even when I'm feeling super tired. I haven't had coffee today because we ran out of coffee at home, and I didn't want to go out because I slept in a little because I was really lucky that I got to sleep in a little today, and then I just got stuck into painting because that's what my plan was, and I really wanted to get some painting done and do a time-lapse video and all that kind of stuff. And then now I'm just churning out emails and catching up on emails and admin stuff and applying for things and really pushing my comfort zone with a lot of projects that I'm working on outside of my painting stuff, and launching commissions, my chapter change commissions. Any of these things that sound interesting to you, hashtag below, comment below, hashtag Muse Mama, if you would like to know about the village and have access to me and to the creativity resources. There's booklets, there are daily prompts in there, there are amazing women in there. I'm going to be doing interviews in there as well of different resources that I love, just amazing women, people I mastermind with, people I just kind of networked with who have incredible knowledge and resources and just ideas and just ways of being amazing Muse Mamas, even if they might not call themselves that. I recognize a Muse Mama because you are one. And so definitely comment below, hashtag Muse Mama, if that's something that resonates with you. And if you love my paintings, if you're actually new to me, just know when you're on, make sure you say hi and comment below, hashtag yay live. And if you're watching the replay, hi replayers. I love you guys. There's always so much more of you because of my random just turning up live kind of thing. Definitely comment below, hashtag yay replay, so I know that you're on, and it helps boost my video so that more people can see this and learn about creativity and be inspired and tap into my creative juju, because that's what I'm being called to do. And so, how do I show up? No coffee, tired, 3-4 hours of sleep. One thing, coffee does help, or whatever your drug of choice. I imagine there's some people who like to exercise first thing in the morning to help wake you up. For me, a good shower really helps. But really, it is connecting to my Muse Mama calling and doing that work. And that's why when I couldn't even function mentally, just was in a daze, I sat down on my little kitchen bench and started working on my painting, my spiral painting a day project, and worked on my next spiral painting, which is my daily painting project. If you like to see that, you go check out at a spiral a day on Instagram if you're on Insta. Or the full collection is there. It's my super affordable, cheap under $50 original artworks of watercolors on paper. And it's both a painting project, but also really for me to tap into my creativity in a daily way and weave it with my life as mama of 2 and all the house stuff and kinder runs and nappies and naps and all of those kind of things. So that is it. That's really how do I show up even though when you're not feeling it and really tired, is to connect back to what it is that's calling you, to know what that is. And that's really what I'm always talking about as well, and to allow yourself to connect with that, and still acknowledging and honoring yourself if you're super tired like I am and feeling exhausted and all that kind of stuff. Maybe the connection back to your calling and be asking that question. Hi, calling. What do you need from me today? How can I move us a step forward in order to bring you to life? And sometimes the answer is go take a rest. You need to be at full energy at 100% in order to show up fully, in order to do the next step that I'm going to show you. Sometimes the answer is just do this tiny little thing, and it will feel like, oh, that is so tiny that it's insignificant and it doesn't count and it feels unproductive, and then you spend the rest of the day hitting yourself with emotional sticks and just shaming and guilting yourself, which is completely even less productive. But honoring that voice and being able to connect to that and knowing what that next step is can also really, I know for me personally, helps me get some of that rejuvenation and excitement back to my work. And really just, I think exhaustion always, when you're not feeling it, sometimes you're just not motivated because there's a lot of resistance coming up about stuff. And resistance is another big thing that I'm always talking about. Hashtag embrace resistance, as I always say below. It comes up because there's a lot of fear about whatever it is that next step is, which is what I was working on, sending out emails to retailers. I'm hoping to stock my paintings and things like that. And I was really fearful and scared, and, you know, a lot of who do I think I am, and a lot of excuses was coming up, which obviously doesn't feel like excuses when they're in your head. They're totally legit, and some of them are like actual pretty legit reasons. But I realized talking to a friend who has done it before, and for her it's so easy, and the answers she was giving me, because I'm asking her these questions, oh no, but surely I have to do this, or surely I gotta do it like that, and surely I should wait until I'm X, Y, and Z, which is basically me saying I am not enough, not ready enough, not good enough. And she was like, no, you're totally fine, and it's very simple. And the answers to these questions and resistance and reasons why I cannot move forward was actually just excuses, but the answers were really simple. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's a really simple answer. Why didn't I think of that? Well, because I was in resistance. And all the other excuses, I'm really tired and I just don't have the energy, and totally legit, especially in this season of your life, especially if you're a mama of littlies, and in this season of your life, I salute you and I celebrate you, and I totally see you and know that you're not alone, and that if you have a calling beyond where your current season is at, know that you're not alone. There is a little village of us, and we get this juggle of weaving all the self-care and the work and your creativity and your babies and your life and your art and all that kind of stuff. We get it, and that's what Muse Mama is. So I realized excuses, why was I doing it? And the answers were really simple, and I just had to just sit down and do it. And so even if you're really tired, and that's a legitimate reason, you had 3 hours sleep because your baby's not sleeping through the night, for whatever reason, even though she was sleeping through the night beautifully for months, and have done for like over 6 months now. Or it's because it's a lot of resistance, a lot of fear, a lot of dragging your feet about doing simple thing that's been on your to-do list for maybe weeks, maybe even months. Maybe you've been talking about doing it for a long time and it's just all you're talking. So one thing is, if you're happy to just keep talking about doing it but not actually doing it, and you enjoy the sport of being a spectator, I have this argument with my husband about how I just can't enjoy watching sports because I'm just a spectator and I don't get the allure of just being a spectator. I feel like I need to be in the game and doing the stuff and having some control over something that I'm supposed to be emotionally invested about, but having no control over the outcome just feels really unattractive for me. And so, for some people, that's, if you truly ask yourself, do I actually really want to do this, or do I just enjoy talking about wanting to do it, but really it's not really a priority, then hey, you know what? If you can acknowledge that for yourself, then you can free yourself from all that kind of draining energy of talking about something but not doing it. But if you're tired of talking about it and not doing it, and you're also physically tired, so how do you show up? How do you show up when you're not feeling it? And I feel like I do this video every month. Number one is to acknowledge where you're at and to honor the season that you're in. Number two is to connect with that calling and that project, whatever it is that you're I really want to do this, I really want to bring it to life, I really want to pursue it, I really want to step forward into it, to really connect with that and to ask that question, how can I move forward today and take that next step? How can I dare to take it seriously and take that next step? And then really listening to what that answer is intuitively, because all the research, all the knowledge and asking of questions and trying to work out potential pitfalls and all the different tools you might need, and maybe you're not ready, maybe you're not, maybe you really, whatever it is. But I suspect if you're like me and you've been spinning around for a while, you probably already are ready. The answers are actually really simple. You actually have all that you need inside you. If you can listen intuitively to what that next step is, however small or insignificant it might seem, or even if sometimes if you really connect within, the answer might be go take a rest. You're going to get the next step and you're going to need all the energy you're going to need. And then taking that actual step and doing it. And then you'll find, it wasn't that hard actually. Sending an email actually isn't that hard and isn't going to kill you. But I totally see how hard it can be, and I totally feel you when resistance shows up, and the fear and the doubt and, you know, all these inner critic voices show up, it can be really paralyzing. And the only way to work through it sometimes is to practice just doing it anyway, to practice small steps forward and acknowledging that yes, it is hard, but it's still simple. And when it's simple, you can just take one step forward. And knowing that when you actually do something, even if it's a small step forward and it may seem insignificant to those inner critic voices, it actually can be rejuvenating because you finally did it. You finally crossed a hurdle. And even though there are more hurdles to come before you actually climb that mountain, you will get the energy you need for the next one and next step. Like even though I do feel it, I'm feeling a lot more rejuvenated because I did some work. I did my painting, I did my stuff. I really connected to my muse and I really connected to my muse calling and all that kind of stuff. And so yes, that is all for today. I hope that was helpful. Just like I said, Muse Mama is for you if you're feeling that call, you know that there's something else in the next chapter, whether it's because you have kids and they are a little bit more independent and they don't need you now, whether it is because they are leaving the nest, or whether it is just, you know, there's something calling you and you know that there's a next step and there's something else, and you want to juggle all of that with self-care and your life and your relationships and your work and this project that is calling and it keeps bugging you and you want to pursue it. That's what Muse Mama is for. You have access to all my creativity resources. You have access to a village, I guess you could say, of other Muse Mamas. And I'm looking at my notes here because I'm going to put it in the comments below so that you can see it there. I'm going to see if I can do that. And can you pin it? How do I pin it? Yay, pin comment. It's there with all the details, where there is also, that's right, I'd even forgotten. There's a mini masterclass from dreaming to doing, and I say it's mini, but it goes quite in depth in terms of really dreaming big and then really forming a structure around it. So you kind of do both a balance of streaming and flowing and all that kind of stuff, but then finding a structure and designing your steps forward, and then having your anchor goals and you know what that kind of stuff is, and then taking that next step. Because yes, for all the big dreaming, you also need to do some doing. That's where the dissatisfaction comes from when you don't have both. And you also have access to my Deliberate Doodle signature workshop, online workshop, if you would like to reconnect back to your creativity in a way that is super simple with just a pen and paper. I show you the process of how I create my line drawings, my Deliberate Doodles, and which is the other side of my practice besides my painting practice. But it's really about mindfulness and connecting to your creativity in a way that is really simple. It's pen and paper, and there's none of that issue about, do I have the tools? Do I have the artistic skills? Do I have that? None of that stuff. And really connecting back to your values and the words that hold meaning for you, and being mindful, because being mindful is how you can know yourself and know yourself better and really connect back to that calling. And then when you ask that question intuitively, what do I need to do next? You can hear those voices because you've been mindful in developing that relationship with your creativity. So get that stuff there. There's a handful of spots left at the current membership pricing. And then it's going to double in price for the next round. So get in if that resonates with you. I would love to have you in there. It is a beautiful space to just hang out and know that you're going to be seen and understood and held and uplifted, especially when you need that hit of inspiration. And we have daily prompts in there for you to really connect back to your creativity. It doesn't have to take so much of your time, which is the way I wanted it to be, simple, because I have 2 kids under the ages of 5 and I don't have time to sit there through like long videos and stuff like that. So yes, thank you. Show up if you need to. Know that you're being seen. I totally get it. Know that you're being supported. And as I always say, dare to take your big dreams seriously and take the next step today. I will see you next time. Bye.